Be me, 25, in a 3-year relationship with my partner, Alex. We've been having some issues lately, mainly due to my job requiring long hours and Alex feeling neglected. I've been trying to make it work, but the fights have been getting more frequent and intense. Today was the last straw, or so I thought. We got into a huge fight over something stupid, and I just lost my cool. I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. I yelled, slamming my fist on the table. Alex looked at me, tears in their eyes, and said, "Maybe you shouldn't, then." My mind went blank, and I just blurted out, "Fine, let's just break up then." Alex nodded, and we both just sat there in silence for a few moments. Then Alex got up, grabbed their bag, and walked out the door. I'm left sitting here, feeling empty and regretful. It's only been 5 minutes, but I already feel like I've made a huge mistake. Why did I say that? Why did I let my anger get the best of me? I think back to all the good times we had, all the laughs, all the adventures. Was it really worth throwing all that away over one stupid fight? I get up and pace around the room, trying to calm myself down. But my mind is racing, and all I can think about is how much I want to take it all back. No, 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 this can't be happening, I say out loud to myself, feeling like I'm going to throw up. I stop pacing and look around the room, feeling a sense of desperation. There has to be a way to fix this, to make it right. But what if Alex is already gone, and they don't want to come back? The thought sends a chill down my spine, and I feel a wave of panic wash over me. I need to do something, but what? As I stand there, frozen in uncertainty, my mind begins to replay the argument that just transpired. How could I have been so stupid? I berate myself, reliving the moments leading up to Alex's departure. I think about the way my words cut through the air, the harsh tone, and the accusing glint in my eye. Why did I say those things? I whisper aloud, feeling a stinging sensation in my eyes as tears begin to form. I move over to the window and stare out at the empty street, half expecting to see Alex walking away, but there's no sign of them. The silence is deafening, and I'm left with only my thoughts to keep me company. What if they're really gone? I think, the possibility sending a shiver down my spine. What if I never see them again? The thought is too much to bear, and I feel my legs buckle beneath me. I collapse onto the couch, burying my face in my hands as the first tears begin to fall. As I sit there, I become aware of the sound of my own ragged breathing, and I force myself to take slow, deep breaths in an attempt to calm down. Okay, think this through, I tell myself, trying to sound rational. You need to figure out what to do next. But my mind is a jumble of emotions, and all I can think about is how much I want to turn back the clock and do things differently. Suddenly, I'm on my feet again, pacing around the room with renewed urgency. I need to talk to them, I decide, my mind made up. I need to apologize and make things right. I rush over to my phone and begin scrolling through my contacts, my heart racing with anticipation. As I find Alex's number, my finger hovers over the call button, hesitating for a moment. What if they don't answer? What if they don't want to talk to me? I take a deep breath and push the thoughts aside, letting my finger descend onto the screen. The phone begins to ring, and I feel my anxiety spike as I wait for an answer. Come on, pick up, I whisper, my eyes fixed on the phone as if willing Alex to answer. But as the rings turn into voicemail, my heart sinks, and I'm left standing there, feeling more alone than ever. Alex, please, I say, my voice shaking as I leave a message. I'm so sorry. Please call me back. I need to talk to you. The words spill out of me, a desperate plea to redeem myself and fix the damage I've done. As I hang up the phone, I'm left with only one question: will it be enough? As I stand there, frozen in uncertainty, the silence that follows my voicemail message is deafening. I feel like I've put my heart on my sleeve, exposed and vulnerable, waiting for a response that may never come. What if they never call back? I think to myself, the doubt creeping in like a thief in the night. What if I've blown it for good? The questions swirl in my mind, each one a reminder of the risk I've taken by reaching out. I pace back and forth in my room, trying to shake off the feeling of unease that settled in. My eyes wander to the clock on the wall, watching as the minutes tick by at a glacial pace. It's only been 5 minutes, I tell myself, trying to reassure my racing heart. Give it time. They might be busy. But as the minutes turn into a quarter of an hour, my anxiety begins to get the better of me. Just as I'm starting to lose hope, my phone suddenly springs to life, the ringing tone piercing the silence like a lifeline. My heart leaps into my throat as I see Alex's name flashing on the screen. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I whisper, my hand trembling as I reach for the phone. I take a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves, and answer the call. Hello. I say, trying to sound casual despite the turmoil brewing inside me. Hey, Alex responds, their voice cautious, but not unkind. I got your message. What's going on? I close my eyes, letting out a sigh of relief that they've answered. I'm so sorry, Alex, I begin, the words spilling out of me in a rush. I was completely out of line, and I realize that now. I feel terrible for what I did, and I want to make it right. Can we talk about what happened? There's a pause on the other end of the line, and for a moment, I worry that I've misread the situation entirely. But then Alex speaks up, their voice a little softer. I've been thinking a lot about what happened, and I have to admit, I'm still hurt. But I'm willing to listen. Can we meet up in person to talk about this? My heart soars at the prospect of meeting with Alex, of having a chance to make things right. Yes, absolutely, I reply, trying to contain my enthusiasm. When and where? How about we meet at the coffee shop downtown tomorrow at 2 p.m.? Alex suggests. I nod, even though they can't see me. That sounds perfect. I'll be there. As we wrap up the call, I feel a sense of hope that I hadn't felt in a long time. Maybe, just maybe, I can fix the damage I've done and rebuild what's been broken. But as I hang up the phone, I'm left with one lingering question: what will happen tomorrow? As I hung up the phone, I felt a wave of excitement and nervousness wash over me. I had been waiting for this moment for what felt like an eternity, and now that it was finally here, I couldn't help but wonder what the outcome would be. I walked over to the window and stared out at the city, my mind racing with thoughts of what I would say to Alex tomorrow. What if I mess it up? I thought to myself. What if I say something wrong and make things worse? I took a deep breath and tried to push the doubts aside. I had to be positive, I had to believe that I could make things right. I walked over to the couch and sat down, pulling out my journal and pen. I had been writing down my thoughts and feelings for weeks, trying to process everything that had happened. I flipped through the pages, reading over the entries I had written about Alex and our situation. As I read, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. I had hurt Alex, and I knew it. I had been so caught up in my own fears and doubts that I had pushed them away, and now I was paying the price. I'm so sorry, Alex, I whispered to myself, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes. I was so blind, so stupid. I should have been honest with you from the beginning. I closed my journal and set it aside, feeling a sense of determination wash over me. I was going to make things right, no matter what it took. I was going to apologize, to explain, to make Alex see that I was genuinely sorry for what I had done. The next day, I woke up early, feeling like a kid on Christmas morning. I got dressed and ready, my heart racing with excitement. I grabbed my bag and headed out the door, feeling like I was walking on air. As I walked to the coffee shop, I couldn't help but think about what Alex would say. Would they forgive me? Would they give me another chance? I pushed the thoughts aside and focused on the present moment. I was going to walk into that coffee shop, and I was going to be honest. I was going to be myself, and I was going to hope that it would be enough. I pushed open the door to the coffee shop and scanned the room, my eyes searching for Alex. And then, I saw them. They were sitting at a table by the window, looking more beautiful than I had ever seen them before. I took a deep breath and walked over, feeling like I was walking into a new chapter of my life. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. "Thanks for meeting me." Alex looked up at me, their eyes searching mine. "Hey," they replied, their voice soft. "I'm glad we could talk." I sat down across from them, feeling a sense of nervousness wash over me. This was it. This was my chance to make things right. And I was going to take it, no matter what it took. "So," I said, taking a deep breath. "I guess we should start with what happened." "I'm so sorry, Alex. I was wrong to push you away, and I know it. Can I explain?" Alex nodded, their eyes never leaving mine. "I'm listening," they said, their voice barely above a whisper. I took another deep breath, feeling my heart pounding in my chest. This was it. This was my chance to make things right. And I was going to take it, one word at a time. As I began to speak, my words tumbled out in a rush, like a dam breaking after years of pent-up emotion. I was scared, Alex. I was so scared of losing you, of losing myself in you. I didn't know how to process my feelings, how to deal with the fact that I was falling for you. And so I pushed you away, because it was easier than facing the unknown. I paused, taking a deep breath as I searched for the right words. But the thing is, pushing you away didn't make the feelings go away. It just made me realize how much I needed you, how much I wanted to be with you. Alex's eyes never left mine, their expression a mask of calm intensity. "Go on," they said, their voice still soft, but with a hint of curiosity. I took another deep breath, feeling my heart pounding in my chest like a drum. I was trying to protect myself, I think. I was trying to avoid getting hurt, because I've been hurt before. But in doing so, I ended up hurting you, and that's the last thing I ever wanted to do. I felt a pang of guilt and regret, and I knew I had to keep going, to get it all out. I've been thinking a lot about us, about what we had, and I realize now that I was wrong to let my fears dictate my actions. I was wrong to push you away. Alex's expression didn't change, but I saw a flicker of something in their eyes, a spark of emotion that gave me hope. "What do you want, exactly?" they asked, their voice still soft, but with a hint of skepticism. I leaned forward, my elbows on the table, my hands clasped together. "I want us to try again," I said, my voice filled with conviction. "I want us to work through our issues, to communicate, to really talk to each other. I want us to be honest with each other, to be vulnerable, to take a chance on each other." I paused, taking a deep breath. "I want to be with you, Alex. I want to be with you, really be with you, without fear, without doubt. I want to explore what we have, to see where it takes us." The silence that followed was oppressive, like a weight on my chest. I couldn't read Alex's expression, couldn't tell what they were thinking. All I could do was wait for their response, wait to see if they would give me another chance. My mind was racing, my thoughts a jumble of emotions and what-ifs. What if they said no? What if they didn't want me back? What if I had blown it, irreparably? But then, like a ray of sunshine breaking through the clouds, Alex spoke. "I've missed you," they said, their voice barely above a whisper. "I've missed us." My heart skipped a beat, my breath catching in my throat. "I've missed you too," I replied, my voice filled with emotion. "I've missed us, so much." The silence that followed was no longer oppressive, but anticipatory. It was as if we were both holding our breath, waiting to see what would happen next. And then, like a slow-motion dream, Alex reached out, their hand brushing against mine. It was a spark of electricity, a jolt of emotion that ran through me like a river of fire. I felt alive, I felt hopeful, I felt like maybe, just maybe, we could make it work after all. As Alex's hand touched mine, I felt a shiver run down my spine. It was as if time had stood still, and all that existed was the two of us, suspended in this moment of uncertainty and possibility. I couldn't help but think about all the times we had touched before, all the laughter, the tears, and the quiet moments like this one. My mind was a whirlwind of memories, each one flashing by like a snapshot in my mind. "I'm sorry," Alex said, their voice low and husky, filled with emotion. "I'm sorry for pushing you away, for not being able to deal with my own issues." I looked up at them, my eyes locking onto theirs. "You don't have to apologize," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "I'm the one who should be sorry. I was so caught up in my own feelings, my own fears, that I didn't realize what you were going through." Alex's eyes searched mine, their gaze piercing and intense. "I know I wasn't easy to be with," they said, their voice filled with self-doubt. "I know I pulled away, that I didn't communicate with you like I should have." I took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. "You didn't have to," I said, my voice filled with conviction. "I should have been more understanding, more patient. I should have seen that you were struggling, that you needed me to be strong for you." The silence that followed was filled with tension, but it was no longer uncomfortable. It was as if we were both waiting for the other to make a move, to take a step forward into the unknown. And then, like a quiet resolve, Alex spoke up. "I want to try again," they said, their voice firm and resolute. "I want to work through this, to figure out who we are, and what we want from each other." I felt a surge of hope, a sense of possibility that I hadn't felt in a long time. "I want that too," I said, my voice filled with emotion. "I want to try again, to see where this journey takes us." As we sat there, hands touching, eyes locked, I couldn't help but think about the road ahead. It wouldn't be easy, I knew that. There would be ups and downs, twists and turns. But in this moment, I was willing to take that risk, to see where this journey would take us. And as I looked into Alex's eyes, I knew that they were willing to take that risk too.